it's Bro You Whack, and today we got a very interesting video for you because today we're going to be doing a tier list, but not your average tier list, because today we're going to be ranking all of the best heroes to main in Overwatch 2. How I want to approach this tier list was basically the experience of maining each and every single one of these heroes. How competitively viable your main is, how much your main gets nerfed or buffed throughout the history of Overwatch, how many skins your hero gets, also more, and probably one of the most important, how do people react when you tell them I am a blank main? Because if their response is to instantly block you on Twitter, then you're probably going to end up in the F tier. But if they want to duo with you, and if they love you and eventually want to marry you, then you're probably going to be an S tier. We're going to name each and every single one of these tiers. At S, we have Eternal Happiness. At A, we have I Love It Here. At B, we got I'm Promise I'm Not Cringe. At C, we got Just Existing. At D, we got Cope, Cope, Cope. And at F, we got Seeking Therapy, because you are probably either depressed playing your main or people hate you. But beginning our list is a hard hitter, basically the definition of perfection when it comes to support characters. There's a lot of support characters that you would love to duo with, and there's a lot of support characters that people don't hate playing against. And I feel like Ana is not only one of those heroes that check off all those boxes, but is also beloved by Blizzard, gets tons of skins, also just got a mythic and a legendary mythic weapon skin, so even Blizzard loves Ana. So I'm not going to be handing out a lot of S tiers today, but I feel like if you're an Ana main, you absolutely love playing Ana, and people love you too. Next up, we have Ashe. Now, the only problem with Ashe is that she's the second fiddle to the main star of the show, which is Bob. People love Bob. People want more Bob. People would rather have Bob be a playable hero than Ashe. But Ashe, she's fine. Her biggest downfall, I would say, is the fact that she reloads a lot, but I feel like you could always find great success playing with Ashe. Plus, she also gets a decent amount of skins, but it's mainly Bob that makes the skins worth buying, so I'm going to be putting her right in B tier. I promise I'm not cringe. Baptiste is probably one of the most forgettable support characters, nay, the most forgettable hero in all of Overwatch 2. One of the only reasons I will find people talking about Baptiste is because of Immortality Field and how just infuriating that is. But besides that, people really don't talk about Baptiste. When people say that, oh, they're a Baptiste main, no one really bats an eye. And also another thing, Blizzard even forgets Baptiste exists because they don't make any skins for him. So he's gonna go right into the middle of C tier. He is the definition of just average, the average main experience. Bastion, Bastion, Bastion. One of the most polarizing heroes in all of Overwatch 2. We've all considered ourselves a Bastion main at one point in our lives because he does what he does best, get a lot of damage. But once you hit level 15, you grow out of that very quickly. I feel like if they were to remove any heroes out of the hero roster, Bastion would be the hero that I think would change the landscape of Overwatch the least. So that's why he's gonna be the first hero in Seeking Therapy, because even Bastion mains would agree that they need to seek therapy for how long they've been playing Bastion. Brigitte is up next, and one important thing to know when I make this list is that I'm considering the whole 8 years of maining this specific hero. And if a hero has a very, let's just say, traumatizing era where they quite literally bring the downfall of a whole entire esports league, then Brigitte is the shining example, the star of that era. Brigitte mains, you quite literally could have almost killed Overwatch, all because of the GOATS meta. When people say they're a Brig main, people automatically get red in their eyes because they just remember how much pain you caused them, which is why I gotta go straight into Cope. Like, look, in modern day times, Brigitte isn't that bad. Cassidy mains have had a very interesting timeline of maining our favorite cowboy. They've gone through changes with his flashbang. They've gone through changes with his name, but they still stay with the tried and true simple technology of a simple pistol and a roll. And there's some beauty in that. But if his flashbang is the only cringe component of his hero that has slowly changed over time, then I think he's deserving to be in B tier right next to his favorite cowboy companion. Oh, D.va, D.va, D.va. So Blizzard loves D.va. They've made so much merchandise over the years. They've made so much skins for D.va over the years. And they've kept her relatively meta throughout her whole entire history in Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2. But D.va's biggest downfall are the voice lines. Everyone's been a victim of a D.va voice line. It's not like even a funny voice line that became a brand like with Doomfist and they say, no, it's a variety of voice lines and all of them are annoying. Not to mention Defense Matrix is extremely infuriating, but because she is so popular and loved by so many people, I feel like it's fitting to put her in B tier because even D.va mains will say that they're not cringe. They promise they're not cringe, but they are. Alright, so a lot of people know that I hate Hanzo, but there is a very close second when it comes to Doomfist. I hate this hero, and I think a lot of people also would agree that in recent time they've come to also hate the newly formed tank hero of Overwatch 2. But here's the reason why he's gonna be ranking low. Doomfist mains spend hours trying to practice Doomfist just to make him somewhat average, just to make him compete with the other tanks, all just for him to get countered by a Sombra, by an Orisa, by a D.va, making all those hours, thousands of hours, go down the toilet. That's why I'm gonna be slutting him right into D tier, because Doomfist mains, you try to cope saying, oh, I'm a great Doomfist. No, there's only one good Doomfist main, and that's get quaked on, and he has dedicated his whole entire life to make this hero good. So Echo, she's pretty cool. I feel like if you main Echo, you try to main everybody, and well, that's why you fell in love with Echo, because you technically can main everybody by copying anybody. That's a pretty cool mechanic, a very unique mechanic, and she's just an overall very nice, very gentle sort of Overwatch character in a hero roster full of like very type of characters. It's nice to have a soft-spoken robot that also has a good variety of skins, so that's why I'm gonna be putting her in B tier. She's just cool. Okay, so we've gotten to Genji mains, probably right next to Mercy when it comes to controversial mains in Overwatch 2. Genji mains, listen, we gotta sit down and talk. This is not 2016 anymore. You have not been relevant for years now. Now, while you are still one of the most coolest designed characters in all of Overwatch 2, you have not been relevant at all in the meta. If you want to play a flank character, play a good one like Tracer, because you're gonna easily get countered by a Zarya, a Winston, a Mei, basically half of the hero roster. You have to swap and stop treating this as if Seagull is gonna recruit you to the Dallas Fuel, alright? It's over. It's done. You need to stop coping. You're going straight into D tier. Now look, I'm not gonna say my biasness is gonna dictate the placement of Hanzo mains, but it will slightly. No, I got a few reasons. I think most Hanzo mains would agree that he is the worst sniper in all of Overwatch 2, but I would go as far as to say that he is one of the worst DPS heroes to pick. That's right, I said it. But you Hanzo mains have to agree that he is no longer in the place that he used to be even a year ago, let alone in 2016, and with Scatter Era, that it was the most RNG ability in the game. Storm Era, that is still super BS to this day, and the fact that you can no longer one-shot headshot means that he's gonna be joining Bastion in the Seek Therapy, because I know all Hanzo mains hate their lives right now because they lost their one-shot headshot capability. And do not lie to me, I know you booked a therapist as soon as you saw those Hanzo patch notes a couple of seasons ago. Illari is relatively new. When she first released, I feel like a lot of people loved playing her and didn't mind facing off against her, and I feel like for the first time in what seemed like years, she was one of the most balanced characters that Overwatch initially released. Not to mention she has an awesome design, a fun hero kit for a support character. Illari, she's just a cool character, similar to Echo, where I feel like anybody, DPS, tanks, or supports can have fun with her. So she's gonna go right into B tier. Maybe within time she can go up into A tier, but right now she's a solid B. Junker Queen is so underrated. I'm gonna say it. Everyone talks about the strong three, Winston, D.va, and Zarya in counterplay, but Junker Queen I feel like is not only a fun tank to play because you just get to be the third DPS, but she's just so sick. An awesome animated short, one of the best voice actors in the whole entire game. When people say that they're a Junker Queen main, I feel like they dedicate their time to really honing in her craft to make her a valuable hero, so that you don't need a shield. I don't need a Reinhardt, I don't need a Winston. We just need to get some kills, which is why she's gonna be a first hero in A tier. Maybe in time, after some nerfs, she'll go to B tier, but I feel like Junker Queen mains, they've been loving it here. They've been loving their time. All right, Junkrat. Ever since 2016, Junkrat mains knew what they were signing up for. They do a lot of damage and they get a lot of deaths. If there's a Reinhardt shield, I'm gonna bring it down. If there's a Pharah, well, I'm gonna go down. And that's just the way that you play Junkrat. You take the bad with the bad, you take the good with the good. And I feel like Junkrat mains know that they're not the best hero to play in the game because he gets so easily countered, which is why he's gonna go straight into D tier. But that's fine, because Junkrat mains probably have the most fun out of all bad heroes to main. So I gotta predict the future for Juno mains, because she's the recently released Overwatch 2 hero. She hasn't had a lot of time to really upset the Overwatch community or really uplift the Juno main community. But what I will say, out of all characters that have released ever since Kiriko, Oh my god, she has the most upside potential. You just know she's gonna be joining Mercy and Kiriko when it comes to getting skins every single season because she's just a cute little adorable astronaut girl. Her hero kit is a lot of fun too. High mobility, high damage, a lot of fun abilities as well. Her backstory, while it's not really unique when it comes to coming out of space, I still like the fact that a human is now coming from space, which is what makes her unique. So what I'm gonna do, and again, this might be a gamble, but I'm gonna be investing in you Juno mains and your happiness and putting you right into S tier, kind of just solely based on the fact that you're gonna be getting fed so much Juno content in the near future. Whether it's with skins, with merch, with buffs, just people are gonna love you. We've reached Kiriko, Blizzard's new modern favorite hero, the poster child, if you will, of Overwatch 2. She has stayed relatively meta in her 2 years of existence here in Overwatch 2, and the only reason why Kiriko is hated is because of the fact that she's so loved by so many people. Similar to Mercy, so many people love to hate the popular girl. And Kiriko is just that. She gets all the skins, all the merchandise, all the buffs, all the meta attention. There's not really been a time where Kiriko's been bad. So Kiriko mains, you have been spoiled ever since she released, unlike Brigitte mains or other supports that we're gonna soon get to. But because your haters hate you the most, you're not deserving of S tier. You're not deserving of the love like how Ana gets or like how Juno's eventually gonna get, but you're still the most popular support, so that's why you're gonna be right here in A tier, because you've been loving your time in Overwatch 2. Being a Lifeweaver main is tough, because if you tried to main Lifeweaver when he first released, no, everyone forced you off a Lifeweaver. A 35 win percentage is rough to be introduced to the Overwatch hero roster. And after months and months of buffs and just nothing but buffs, you're still just somewhat mediocre. But when it's a challenge to be a Lifeweaver main, that's when you're doing something wrong. That's when you're kind of wasting your life away. He's not bad by any means, but every Lifeweaver is gonna tell you, oh, he's gotten better and his skins are cool and he's so hot. That's why he's not in F tier, is because he's just so hot and sexy. But he's gonna be right here in D tier because you cope with the fact that he's still just not excellent. Lucio. So if I would have done this list a year ago, I would have put Lucio straight into S tier. If you would ask somebody who they main, they said Lucio, they would have been fun. They would have been chill to hang out with. Like, Lucio is just one of those characters that you just kind of embody his personality passively. Love him. He was meta for most of his Overwatch career, but recently, he has fallen off of a huge cliff and is one of the few characters that I'm really going to look at recency bias and really dictate his placement. Now, it's not going to heavily impact him too much, but I will be putting him into B tier. Like, oh man, that fall off in the recent months just heavily impacted him. Mauga. Are there really any Mauga mains out there? Like, honestly, truly, do you like playing this character or do you like to win? Now, I can't blame you for winning, but I feel like if you made Mauga, you either like to win or ruin the fun for everybody. And this is gonna be one of the few characters that I'm really gonna dictate his placement just based on social stigma. Everyone hates you. Nobody likes a Mauga on the field. Even your teammates just kind of roll their eyes like, oh, we're lame, we're cringe. Like, Mauga, I would say, is the modern day Brigitte, where he's just ruined so many competitive games. Like, once someone pulls out the Mauga, your teammate has to play Mauga. If not, you lose. Like, that's why. Because of that, he's going straight into F tier. Not because you need to seek therapy, but because everyone around you now needs to go get therapy because they're not happy with their lives. All because of you. Congratulations. I am a proud Mei main. I don't know why I grabbed her slipper. That was the only thing next to me. Look, I know I was biased with Hanzo, I'll admit that, but am I gonna be biased here with Mei? No, because the reason why I even became a Mei main to begin with is because everybody hated Mei way back in 2016, and I didn't know why. She was just this cute little Chinese girl that loved to play with ice and had a little robot named Snowball. Her voice actor just extruded cuteness. So why did people hate her? Because she ruined everybody's fun. She froze people in their paths, and no longer could they play the video game, but made it even worse when you saw her charging up her icicle knowing that you were about to die and you couldn't do anything about it. And that's what made maining Mei so fun. And then they took it away from me! Now she's just so boring to play. I press left click, I get a kill. I press a few right clicks, oh, I get a lucky that shot, but no longer can I see the pain in my enemy's eyes when I freeze them, and I just know there's nothing that they can do about it, and they're gonna meet the devil himself in a few seconds. So that's why I'm gonna be putting her straight into D tier, because I myself have been coping with the fact that she is just not the ice devil that she used to be. Now she's just cute, man. I hate it. I want to cause pain and suffering. I know you've been waiting for this one. I know every single person was waiting where I was gonna put Mercy on this list. You probably skipped ahead to see where I was gonna put Mercy mains. You know Mercy mains are the most controversial mains in all of Overwatch's history. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a whole entire tier just for Mercy, and let you guys argue in the comments section below. What do you think about Mercy? Please let me know in the comments down below. And Mercy mains, you can't cancel me because I didn't really put your main anywhere that you can cancel me for. But what people want to say about Mercy mains is what they will say about Moira mains. Whenever someone says, yes, I'm a Moira main, what does your mind automatically go to? That's right. Pressing these two buttons. If you don't know, that's the DPS button. DPS Moira mains are the bane of every single team's existence. This is a character where your main experience is really going to be heavily dictated by the social stigma. If you get more damage than heals as Moira in a game, everybody hates you. And you will argue saying, but my DPS isn't doing anything. Why do you think they're not doing anything? It's because they're screaming at the top of their lungs, begging you for heals, all the while you're not in game chat and you're just over here sucking and sucking, throwing damage ball and damage ball, coming behind, and not looking at your team that's dying behind you because you're in the front line. While you're a cool character with some even cooler skins, people are still traumatized by the fact that you just DPS way too much, which is why you're going in D tier, because you cope with the fact that, but look at my stats, look at my stats, no one cares about your stats, all right? Man, I just feel like I'm being a hater, and once again, I'm gonna hate again. Orisa mains, there's like 6 of you out there. Like, why do you main Orisa? I feel like Tank has so many cool characters. Reinhardt, the tanks of all tank. Junkrat Queen, I already talked about beforehand. Shoot, even D.va. Like, D.va's adorable, but you decided way back in 2017, yes, I want to main a robotic horse? What? It's like out of all the Omnics to even choose from, there's so many cooler ones. Echo, Zenyatta, spoiler, Zenyatta's a whole lot cooler than Orisa. Like, I can't fathom the idea that an Orisa main truly exists. You're old, like, and this is coming from somebody that has tons of hours on Orisa. You're here to try to counter the Doom or to cause pain into the other tank's face. So that's why you're gonna go straight into D tier. Oh, Pharah, you're just so misunderstood, all because of your second half Mercy. Everyone automatically thinks of Pharmacy when they think of Pharah, but when you subtract the blonde-headed angel, Pharah herself is fine. She's just a flying character with a rocket launcher. And when you just break it down like that, that sounds cool. She's similar to Cassidy and just really brings back that 2016 feel of just simplicity in heroes. You shoot and you move. You don't have all these complicated combos and do all these things. Now you kind of do with Pharah's rework, but Pharah, she still kind of has that simplistic nature, which is why she's gonna go right into C tier. She's a lot of fun to play. She can easily get countered, and that's what makes her fair. It's only when you throw Mercy in the mix that makes her an unbalanced character, but it's not her fault. Much remains to few and far in between, but they've loved to learn and appreciate Ramattra, and I can only applaud them for that, because at first Ramattra, he was terrible, but he quickly bounced back and became a staple tank. Like, he was really the first tank that was built for 5v5, and what I really like most about him is the fact that you can choose what form you want to try to attack with, and that's something really unique, something awesome. Plus his design is just so menacing and cool. Like he would be the tank's tank if it wasn't for Reinhardt, but Ramattra, man, he is just so cool, which is why he's gonna go straight into B tier, because there's really nothing cringe about him other than the fact that Blizzard kind of forgets about him because they don't make any skins for him. When it comes to Reaper, like similar to Bastion, I feel like we've all had a Reaper phase at one point because he's cool. Like, he is the Grim Reaper. He wears a skull mask, an all black outfit, listens to Linkin Park. Like, how could that not be considered dope? Like, yeah, if you were to say you're a Reaper man, you're either 13 years old or 35 years old, but overall, Reaper, he's just a great staple shotgun character that every video game needs, which is why he's gonna go straight into C tier. He's not amazing, he's not terrible, he's just Reaper. All right, Reinhardt mains. So I know for 2 years you've been suffering because everyone forgot about you. You were the best tank in Overwatch 1 for basically its whole entire lifespan. You've had a great skin arsenal and an even better story. Something that can bring a tear to some people's eyes when they watch your cinematic. You Reinhardt mains have been the staple tank in Overwatch's history. But you were unbearable to play with in Overwatch 2. And only recently have you bounced back to your true form and took back your rightful spot as the best tank to play. But something that I haven't really talked about is the fact that when you see a Reinhardt main, you just feel comfort knowing that not only are you gonna get a big giant shield to just protect yourself with, but you're also gonna get somebody that has a big giant hammer that can do some damage as one of the coolest Earthshatter. There is not enough glazing in the world for me to glaze you Reinhardt mains. But remember, you did have those few years where you suffered, so while I would love to put you in S tier, we're gonna put you right into A tier just because you were unbearable to play with for those couple of years. But now you're back, baby! Oh, we are so back. But while people love Reinhardt mains, Roadhog mains, he's either the best tank to play or the worst tank to play. He is so easy to counter or he's unstoppable. Like, there's no in between, and that is frustrating to play against when it comes to Roadhog. But I imagine as a Roadhog main, that's just infuriating because you're constantly on this roller coaster of, am I good? Am I bad this season? I don't know. I just want to play my big piggy boy. I feel like most people hate Roadhog mains playing against them, playing with them because they get so easily countered. Like, he's just so polarizing, which is why he's gonna go straight into C tier, because while he's a goofy, fun character with a very soft, nurturing side that is shown off in his skin arsenal, why, Roadhog mates? Why can't you play a normal tank? Sigma, he is like the opposite of Roadhog in every way. Like, while Roadhog's infuriating, Sigma, dude, he's just so boring. Like, he's like the Baptiste of tanks. He is so slow, and look, I know that's his hero kit, to be slow and to just be very pokey, right? That's his whole comp, is poke, poke, poke. But my God, like, there is just nothing exciting about this character besides the two things, actually. His ultimate voice line that eventually became a TikTok sound, and his toes. And, well, if you're a Sigma main, of course, you probably have a foot fetish. But I don't know. I'm gonna put him right into C. Like, there's just nothing exciting about Sigma. If you're a Sigma main, you're just literally existing. You are the definition of an NPC with no personality and nothing fun from you. Like, you're just there. Sojourn, look, I've never met a Sojourn main. I've met Genji mains, Pharah mains, Reaper mains, mains, even, yeah, I know, we suck. Sojourn, I don't know, she was meant to be the poster child of Overwatch 2, and then that quickly got replaced with Kiriko, which is kind of sad when you think about it. Luckily, she did get her well-deserved cinematic with Murphy. Oh, Murphy's so adorable, little corgi with robotic legs. Ugh. But other than that, like, just being a Sojourn main, I just feel like it's kind of boring, nothing exciting. There's only been one time you've been super meta, and that's when Overwatch 2 released, and then he got quickly nerfed to the ground. Skins, there are few and far in between, so I don't know. I feel like she's just gonna join Sigma right into C tier, and you're just existing. You're here for the ride. You're not really complaining. You're just here to maybe get some rails, maybe infuriate some people that are out of position. And Soldier has the exact opposite effect that Genji has had, where Genji in 2016 was the guy. He was the best DPS. With Soldier, he was boring. Nobody really cared about him. He was the generic Call of Duty character, and there was really no reason to play Soldier. But over time, while Genji was going down, Soldier was going up, and their stock prices kind of met in the middle somewhere in 2018 when Soldier got that well-needed recoil change, and Genji, dude, I don't know what happened with Genji, but Soldier just kept getting better and better and better. His skin arsenal definitely got a whole lot better in Overwatch 2. Just overall, Soldier has solidified himself to be a very solid DPS character, to where, yeah, if you're a Soldier main, you can be much loved by the community. No one really hates you that much, so that's why I'm going to be putting you at B tier, because there's nothing really cringe about you. You're just very average, but you've gotten a whole lot better ever since 2016. I feel like Soldier could also have a similar path that Soldier's had. Sombra mains, I just want to choke you! And not in the good way, because I know you'd probably like that. You're the fun police when it comes to Widowmakers, or Doomfists, or Genjis, Zenyatas. Basically, everybody hates facing off against a Sombra. When they see that Latina or hear that "que onda," just a part of them dies inside because they know they're not going to have any fun in this game. They turn around, they shoot you, and then you go invisible. I can't find you anywhere. Hacking my health packs, you're hacking my abilities, you're hacking my ultimates. It's just, oh, everyone hates you Sombra mains. The only one that loves Sombra are Sombra mains, and that is a fact. You have good skins though, but man, you need to seek therapy because you ruin everybody's fun. Dude, I feel like I'm about to crash out. And Symmetra mains, you are everything that you wish Sombra was, because similar to Sombra, you've gone through so many reworks, but Blizzard's just giving up on you, bro. Like, you have a teleporter for some sneaky flanks, which is very cool and unique, but when it comes to your sentries, they're so annoying to go up against. When it comes to your beam, when we see the level 3, we all are just fearful of seeing you, just beaming us down. But when it comes to like merchandise or even skins, like Blizzard just does not think about you. Like, you are the most forgettable DPS character because at one point you were a support character. Like, you had to swap roles because you didn't fit in the role that you used to be in. But because I feel like you are so easily counterable, that makes you a little bit more fair to face off against, which is why I'm gonna be putting you in D tier, because all you do is try to convince us, no, I promise you, I can take out the Pharah with my secondary. No, you can't. Just switch to a hit scan, please. Symmetra, ever since 2016, has always been seen as a throw pick, but Torbjorn was always seen as a troll pick. Like, he was the character that you saw a lot of funny moments montages way back in the day being used because he was just a fun, goofy guy. But over time, unironically, he has gotten so much better to where he actually makes sense to play in a composition. If they have a Tracer, if they have a Genji, a Fairy, throw a turret. Unironically, he is a decent DPS, but he is even a funnier and goofier character to play, to the point where people do hammer 1v1s. Like, you should never bring out the hammer even to fix your turret, but they left it in the game because it is just so fun to play. So this might be controversial, but I'm gonna be putting Torbjorn mains in the S tier, in eternal happiness. Torbjorn mains love playing Torbjorn, and whenever you say that you're a Torbjorn main, everyone knows that you're just here to have fun. Like, you don't care to win or lose, you just want to have a good time. Now we've reached Tracer, the poster child of Overwatch 1, the mascot, the whole reason why this game exists. And what's funny is that I never hear anybody say that they main Tracer. Like, the only people that main Tracer or 25-year-olds that don't have a job that are still trying to make it into the Overwatch League. It's been shut down for 2 years, but they have hope. A couple of years ago, if you were a good Tracer main, you could have gotten a job in the Overwatch League because a Tracer was the easiest character to learn and the hardest character to master. And there's some beauty in that because if you see a good Tracer main, there's nothing you can do but just respect them because you know that they are so easy to kill with their 175 HP, but they learn to not really focus on what makes them bad, but what makes them good, which is to be a distraction sometimes takes out your support. So really, the only people that hate Tracer mains are support characters, and that's the reason why. Oh, she's had such good skins, a lot of good merchandise. She was the poster child, the mascot. Tracer mains have always had a good time ever since she first released it. You know what? I'm gonna be putting Tracer mains in S tier. There's never been a bad time to be a Tracer main other than when Cassidy was meta. Venture. Okay, so I don't think anyone hates Venture the hero. I don't even think people hate Venture mains. But you want to know who does? Just one single company. The company that actually created Venture. And that's Blizzard themselves, because they don't ever make Venture skins! Like, if I was a Venture main, I would quit playing Venture all because I gotta wait till season 14 till they get a skin. 14, season 14! They came out in season 10 and I gotta wait nearly a year to get a skin. That alone is deserving of therapy. Like, look, it's not bad being a Venture main, but if you like cosmetics, oh, it is terrible, which is why you're going straight into F tier. Look, all these heroes have a reason being F tier. It's probably for one reason only, and your reason is because you get no cosmetics. Widowmaker, look, okay, so Widowmaker, I feel like is one of those characters where if you're really good at Widow, similar to Mauga, you just kind of ruin the game for everybody. Everyone kind of hates one-shot abilities, which is why they removed Hanzo's one-shot headshot capability, but it's kind of the point because she's a sniper, so it's not her fault, and it's not your fault because you have good aim. Like, it's kind of funny. In an FPS game, having good aim makes you cringe. that makes no sense. I don't know. I don't make the rule. Yeah, they made her a little bit more fair by nerfing her, which as a Widow main, it can only be infuriating because what? I'm getting punished because I'm good? I get it. I understand. And look, you've had great skins over the years. You've had a great story with Talon, which is why I'm just going to be putting you in C tier. If this was a year ago, you would be straight into like B tier just based on how good you have to practice and only practice one thing, which is aim. Like, I'm sorry, Widow main, so you just kind of suffer a lot. Winston. Everyone loves Winston mains. There's only one person that hates Winston mains, and that's Genji mains. Ever since 2016, y'all have just been butting heads because you counter the Genji, and Genji's been the most popular at least 8 years ago. But Winston, he stayed on top, baby. Not to mention you have one of the most iconic merchandise of all time with the Winston plushie and some iconic voice lines. Did someone say peanut butter? Greetings. How embarrassing. Like, everyone at one point has quoted a Winston voice line. But a big reason why being a Winston main is so great is because he is, at least before Overwatch 2, was the most balanced character. Because you want to know how many times he's been changed? 2 times, and one of those was like a more quality of life change. So that just goes to show you just how great it was being a Winston main over the years, and even still to this day, which is why he's gonna be a solidified S tier eternal happiness. Because man, even I want to become a Winston main just looking at that face, looking at this cute adorable Winston plush, because who wouldn't want to main this guy? Hammond mains wish that they were like Winston mains, where you tell someone, yes, I'm a Hammond main, but instead of getting added to the group chat, you get blocked by everybody because Hammond mains smell. Like, I'm sorry, you just do. You're typing all these inputs, you're trying to combo, you're trying to roll, you're ignoring your team, you're trying to slam, you're doing all this stuff, all for your backline to die. And we hate you for that. Like, it got so bad to the point where Blizzard literally had to add a feature to where you can help your teammates by giving them a shield, because you just refuse to play with the team, and you still do! He is cute, I will give him that. Like, look, I know I kind of hated on him in this whole entire time, but he's an adorable character, and I want more characters like this because he's the last cutesy character. But he's gonna go straight into C tier just because, like, there is some great things about him, and there's some really, really bad things about him. But you can't deny he's a very unique and cute character. If it wasn't for the counter meta, no one would be playing Zarya. Nobody likes playing Zarya. She is just so boring, man. Yeah, she has one of the best ultimates of all time, but man, you gotta beam and you just no jumping, no nothing, you just bubble me. Like, it's just such an NPC type of character. The fact that even Blizzard doesn't like you. They don't give you any skins at all. None. The only legendary shop skin that you've gotten was a recolor. Like, that's how little Blizzard thinks about you. So you're just gonna go straight into C tier. Like, you're not bad. Like, you're a great tank. You've had many moments in Overwatch. It's like, so boring and lame and just But the final main that we're gonna be ranking is Zenyatta. And similar to Lucio, if you main Zenyatta, you just kind of adopt his personality, who is very chill, very Buddhist-like, very Zen. Get it? Because that's where his name, Zenyatta, very zen. While Lucio could be annoying when it comes to his voice lines, Zenyatta, he's just very wise and calm when it comes to his voice lines. He's not really annoying with his playstyle. Yeah, you counter a lot of ultimates like with a Dragon Blade and whatnot. While you haven't been the greatest support character like how Ana has really been seen, you haven't been the worst support character for so many years, and you also are a character that gets so many awesome skins. So that's why I'm gonna end this video off exactly how we started and putting Zen mains right into S tier, because if you tell somebody that you're a Zen main, they'll just be like, hey, you're really cool, and I appreciate you for healing us as much as you can, because you don't do that a lot. At all, but I like your Discord orb. I love that. And that, hot gamer boys and e-girls everywhere, is my list of ranking all the heroes that you can main in Overwatch 2 and the experience of maining these heroes. But let me know what you think about this list and what you think is the best hero to main in Overwatch 2. Until the next time, I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch 2 videos to come, and bye.